Hey there, and welcome to the podcast Tiling Connect, hosted by Mark Moskwa. This show is designed to connect people with the best information intended to strengthen the business of tiling. To keep up to date with all the episodes, don't forget to subscribe.
Hey everybody, Mark here from Tiling Connect. Welcome back to the show. More importantly, welcome back to another episode. It's been an amazing 2024. We've pushed out quite a few episodes, had a plethora of amazing guests come on board, and we always like it when we can reach out and connect with our past guests because it's excellent to see they're transitioning in their careers and their lives and what they're doing. And this gentleman that we have on with us today was starred, I think, in episode 6 a long time ago, and we were sort of really lucky to reconnect again and have him join the show. So I'm welcoming back James Harrington to Tiling Connect. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Mark, hello, mate. Thank you very much for having me on board again. It's I was actually thinking prior to this, on when was it, mate? It would be back 2 years ago. Was it then? Would you say episode 6 or 7? Was it about 2 years ago though?
Yeah, it was, about 2 years ago. We sort of kicked off some preliminary sort of learning things happening in late 2022, and I think you were part of that process, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. No, good on you, mate. Credit to yourself. I'm sure it's flown by for you.
Yeah, mate, it has. And look, mate, I think I'm pretty certain it was either 22 or 23. Your episode was one of the highest performing episodes on our statistics that is provided to us by Spotify. So just goes to show you, mate, you're an impactful guy, and and I have no doubt that today's conversation is going to be very much the same. And look, I'm keen to know. I know we've spoken off air a little bit about your journey and what's happening in life, and mate, I believe that you've sort of deep dived into the business entrepreneur space, particularly in a field that is quite close to you in terms of your development. And mate, tell us, so Strong at Frankston is the business, which is amazing. Mate, tell us a little bit more about how that all came about.
Yeah, completely right, mate. So construction chemicals, mate, is a bit different to the health and fitness industry, you could say. But it was over 18 months ago now. My business partners, Dan and Danny Riley, they caught wind at the time. I was looking to get into the health and fitness industry. I was looking to buy BFT Rosebud. Back then, mate, myself, Dan and Danny were all members there. I kind of pulled the pin on that for a few reasons. It was a really good business, but something just told me it wasn't necessarily right for me or at the time. It was only, a couple of weeks after that, Dan and Danny, we went out for breakfast and they mentioned Strong. And, mate, when they mentioned Strong to me at the time, I literally had no idea about it, let alone Pilates in general. And we discussed about the operation, on how it works, the reformer bed, and then they showed me the plan. And at the moment, mate, I'm sitting right now in our reception area. And it's not a small premises, mate. This facility, it's 600 square metres with a big recovery studio, extra other rooms, which I'm sure we'll touch a bit later on in today's podcast. But once I've seen the plans, once I've seen the innovation and the concept, it was really a no-brainer. And I guess going into business with Dan and Danny, you really couldn't ask for two better people, just on the way, their core values and how they operate, mate. They're probably the only two people to want to go into business with, to be honest with you. And so it was a no-brainer, mate. And so that was 18 months ago. We had that initial discussions, and then we started the fit out here probably 6 months ago now. It was a 3-month fit out. And, mate, we've been opening for 3 months, and it's been a journey and one I'll definitely remember, that's for sure.
Awesome, mate. Well, look, that's pretty cool. Like, I like hearing stories about people getting into business, and that was sort of one of the influences that I had in my life in getting into a podcast. I mean, there was obviously a need to help strengthen the business of tiling, but it also elevated me to be able to learn more about the business side of things and becoming a sole trader and ABNs and how that side of the world works. And I've always been quite interested in it. So, but mate, look, obviously you've known Dan and Danny for a while, and this is all sort of new. And I know that you love that health and fitness space, and I know that we're going to touch quite a bit on that today because I think our community in particular is very keen to learn more about, how they can positively impact their health and well-being, which you and I both know is essentially, you should be your number one pillar for leading your life, because without your health, the rest of it doesn't really work, or it makes it incredibly difficult to work. But mate, first of all, before we get into some questions more about Strong and what you're doing there, how's your membership going? I mean, 6 months open. Are you killing it with numbers, or what's going on?
Yeah, so 3 months open. We started the fit out 6 months ago. Sorry, Mark.
No.
Mate, it's been a good start, mate. I guess with anything new, so Strong itself it's still a new brand in the fitness industry, in the fitness space. It's probably been around for, I think, about 5 years. In Melbourne, mate, there'd probably be over half a dozen other studios, but down in the Frankston, Mornington Peninsula area, there's only really been another studio in Mornington. So it's still very new. So to answer your question, because anything that comes out new, it's exciting to people. And as Strong's very unique, it's, people really go, oh, what's this? How's this different? So we have started off well. I guess with what we've been able to do, mate, is have an epic team. And if you can have the right people on the ground, your business more often than not will be a success. So, yes, we've started off very well, but it's the people behind it. It's our staff that have really, that are your backbone, right, your heart and soul. So we are very fortunate that we've got an amazing team that have built this epic community, and that everyone has just literally just got along with each other and is really blooming with each other. And mate, we got our Christmas party tomorrow, and I know how many people are excited for that, just to get around each other and have a bit of celebration. So it's been a good start, mate, to answer your question, and it's exciting journey ahead, just with the staff we've got on the ground, but then also this community, mate. It's like no other, really.
Yeah, mate, super. Tell me your sort of personal fitness journey and how that came all about, because I imagine that you've gravitated towards the fitness industry for yourself, and then you've obviously taken it one step further to go, you know what, I'm going to really invest in a business in the industry. So what brought you to health and fitness, and how? Tell us a little bit more about that journey and how you got there. Yeah,
absolutely, mate. So my health and fitness started back probably when I was early 20 years old. Don't get me wrong, through my teens, mate, I played a lot of sport, but definitely was never a passion. It was something that I just did to, because obviously footy training or cricket training, whatever it is, that was probably as far as my fitness levels went. But in early 20s, I remember I moved to the city when I was about 18 or 19 and put on just a ton of weights. Like I was, you're drinking every night, you're doing no exercise, and you're having all the fizzy drinks and doing all the wrong things really to your health, right? And I came back, mate, I got out to 108 kilos. Now, 108 kilos, size 38 in the pants. I'll never remember size 38 in the pants, because I remember looking at it one day and I went, geez, I've been a good paddock here. And don't worry, I think I heard that every week when I came back home too. But so
I can't imagine it. I only know one version of James.
But mate, so I'm thinking, I've got to make a change here, and signed up to the gym. Well, I was 21, 22 at the time, and like anything, mate, I think when you start getting results, it becomes a bit of a bug, becomes a bit of a habit. And I really liked the way how my physique was changing, and not necessarily just my physique, but how my mental and positivity and all these other aspects you have to working out, and the after effect and just the confidence levels going higher. So that's what I really loved. And so that was in early 20s, and started to make my way. Started getting a bit fitter and feeling better, and etc. And it was probably mid to late 20s, more so in my late 20s, mate, I just found this tremendous passion for the health and fitness industry. I just really got a bit more serious with it. I was going to the gym a lot, trying different group class training sessions, and mate, I just fell in love with it. So I think then at the age of late 20s, at 30, I kind of knew that I've got a massive passion for this, and I want this. I want this to be a part of my life, and hence why I went on the journey to look to be a part of some sort of business. So that's how it really came about, mate. And it was definitely one of the best things that I did, was walk into that gym in the early 20s. And I know I definitely want to touch on this part, but I'll still remember that feeling of walking into that gym when I was 20, 21. overweight, the anxiety levels are high, and you're just so nervous on what people are going to think about you. And the best thing I ever did was breaking that barrier. As soon as I break that barrier and I started getting these results, your whole world changed. That's what certainly did happen to me.
I think one of the, mate, thanks for sharing. I really appreciate it. I think one of the things that a lot of people find hard to control these days is what other people think about them. And 100%. Particularly in a world of the world of digital media that we're all involved in, between all of the different channels, I think everyone. I shouldn't say everyone. I think a lot of people have the misconception that what they see as a glimpse video or image online is how that person's life is 100% of every week of the year, and it couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, that snippet of someone's life is literally, it's a snippet. The amount of hard work that goes behind that to get that image, no one sees any of that. That's all. And so I get it. Was there any?
There's a saying that I love, Mark. People see the trophies and not the training ground. And ever since I heard that one, mate, I was just that. Yeah, it's 100% on the point, on the money.
Yeah. Gold, love it. Was there with your fitness journey when you made the call that you had to actually was it just the weight thing that drove you to go into the fitness and go into fitness and improve? Were there any other things that impacted that, or was it just that you didn't feel and look good?
Yeah. Mate, for me, I'm a pretty insecure person, to be honest with you. And I mentioned before when people were saying to you, saying to me, geez, you've been in a good paddock and these other things. Now, some people might turn around to you and they'll say, I don't really care what people think about me or say about me. But ultimately, for me, I always do. In a way of when people judge my appearance, especially being overweight, it kind of really got to me. And I think that's what really drove me, Mark, was because I definitely didn't like the way what people were saying about me. And then I look at myself and then suddenly your confidence is low and you start being negative, and that's how it all really came about for me. So really once, me being so insecure and feeling that way, I had to make that change. And the best thing I did was obviously to make that change because, the confidence levels and the way how you feel and the way, actually working hard and getting something out of yourself, it makes a total difference to the way you see life as well and go about it, really.
Yeah, nice. Mate, good on you. Well, look, I would love to explore a little bit more about some of the things that you've done and or know about within sort of the strong experience. I know it's only been 6 months build, 3 months open, but certainly your experience, because I think that, there's a lot of contractors out there within the community that we have that really want to make that transition and potentially go from doing nothing to something, or they want to go from doing something to a lot more, and perhaps they need that motivation. So I'm hoping that, today we'll unpack some of those things. And I thought, who's one of the best people to ask? James Harrington, Strong Frankston. So I thought let's have a chat about it and see what we can uncover and see if we can assist some other people in the community to make some positive changes. So, mate, talking about, I suppose, common physical challenges that contractors face on the job, that's a pretty much a daily occurrence. How do you think training can help sort of mitigate sort of, any sort of physical issues that they might encounter?
Absolutely. So many ways, Mark. I guess the main benefits is going to be in a way of, strength. Strength training is obviously one that's going to help your overall, you're building muscle and everything like that. You've also got, let's say, on a Pilates side of things, mate, we have a lot of tradies that come through these doors. And these trades have been recommended by physios or chiropractors, and they've really said to go to Pilates, right? Because the thing about Pilates and the thing about Strong, they're kind of the heroes of low impact training, is in you're going to get a great workout, but it's not going to be hard on your body. And so the thing about Pilates is it's going to be great for your overall movement in your core and all these things. So working it out, and that's going to obviously help you on site, by helping your lower back and all these other benefits. So in the way of helping guys on site, it really would come down from building strength and building muscle. That's obviously going to help. And then obviously the Pilates side of things, mate, with your core, it's a total game changer. And I guess that's why Pilates is getting so more popular within the industry, is for the many benefits that it shows with that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Pilates, I mean, and I don't know the Strong business intimately. Is Pilates a big part of the repertoire of training that's on offer?
So with Strong, absolutely. So with Strong, mate, we're very unique in the way of Pilates. So with Pilates, you typically got your mat Pilates, or you've got your reformer, which is a bed. For ours, we call it as a row former. The reason how we're very unique, I've said unique a few times in this podcast. I wonder how many times I can keep saying the word unique. Anyway,
nice. So I've got a little counter here.
Yeah. So look, we are a bit different. There we go. I didn't say unique that time. With Strong, the concept is you've got your cardio. Okay, so you're working on your cardio side of things. You're working on strength.
Yeah. And
then you're working on your core. So working on cardio is a great thing because it's great for your overall aerobic endurance, where you're going to be going on a bike, you're going to go on the rower, your heart rate's going to be elevated, so it's going to be really good for your heart, etc. And then secondly, you're going to be working on the strength and conditioning side of things too. So with the strength side of things, you're going to be heavy springs, you're going to be, doing time under tension, progressive overloading, we're getting the heavy dumbbells out, all these other things. And then you're going to be doing your typical Pilates-based movements, which is obviously then going to be working on your core. Now, when people hear about working on your core, straight away they think of abdominals. Oh, yeah, call me abs. Well, no. The thing about Pilates and why it's so good for your core is your spine, it's your pelvis, it's your lower back, and yes, your abdominals, but your core is so much more than just your abs, right? So overall, that's why Pilates-based movements on a reformer, which we have, is fantastic. So it's Pilates-based inspired with cardio infused, and you're getting an overall workout. And that's what I mentioned before. Strong, we are the heroes of low-impact training. You're going to get this high-intensity sweat, but without the impact. So, yeah.
That's pretty interesting, mate. I have to come and try it when I'm in Melbourne next. I haven't done reformer Pilates or any Pilates.
Also, try in Burleigh. You're in Queensland,
mate, I am, but I want to come and hang out with my mates. So
I like that too. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I'll take that.
I'll go to Burleigh and won't know anybody. Not that I'm ashamed of that, but look, I'd be keen to check that out because I've never done Pilates, and I'm very interested to see about the high intensity sweat sort of thing and how it works. So that'll be.
Mate, I did a class only an hour before this podcast, and it's a sweat like no other. You'll go on the rower. It's all got these different blocks. You'll go do one block on the rower, and then your next block might be Pilates-based movements, and then as well as time under tension on the heavy springs. You're back on the rower. You're back doing abs. It's literally a sweat I've never experienced. Yeah, and I'm feeling great. That's the beauty part of it.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool. Well, mate, as you know, in your past experiences with your career and your work, we've both worked with contractors quite a bit over our lifetime. Obviously, they have a very, I suppose, unpredictable and busy schedules. How do you? What sort of advice would you offer? Sort of contractors who are they're keen to work out, but they're obviously. Yeah, fit a routine in around their work. What sort of suggestions could you make there?
Yeah, Mark. So I guess if contractors are looking to make that change, and I guess that's the biggest thing, right? Do they really want to make that change, or do they don't? So they actually really want to make a change. It's all about, for me, I'm pretty blunt when it comes to this, mate. It's all about prioritizing. Okay, like what are you going to do to prioritize your time? Right now, that can be that's anything in life, really. Prioritizing is the key. So. For me, and I think with contractors, we know, Mark, they could be on site at 6 o'clock, they could be doing all night shifts. Yes, so I completely understand that they do have unpredictable working time restraints. So, but mate, for me, as I mentioned before, it is prioritising. So if you're usually on site, let's say 7 a.m, and if you're sleeping in until 6 o'clock, and then you're getting up, going to work, you're on site. So there's the option of getting up early at 4:35. Now, a lot of my mates just said, no. Just don't want to borrow it. Not waking up that time. It's just not for me. They've got some sort of an excuse. So that's one option. That's one thing is just really now to doing that and how we can get better at waking up early is going to sleep earlier. Okay.
Yeah.
It's with your nutrition, It's, what are you eating and the night before, or even throughout the day, for instance, if you're telling me, Mark, I can only train at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but, by the time I finish work, I'm too tired. What are you eting throughout the day? Are you having the right source of food that's giving you that energy? So then, at 5 o'clock, you're ready to go. Are you having a beer at Smoko? All these things. Beer at Smoko, yeah. But so I guess, So I guess it's about prioritizing the time and what you're actually doing to make that change.
Yeah.
Right? In a way of,
Mm. Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. I think, there is obviously some other options where people choose to sort of train in the middle of the day. I sort of don't know how people do that. I don't think I could ever do it, but I know that it increases your endorphin levels, and you have this buzz and this high, particularly after a workout. So I know I do, and that's why I try. That's why I try and train in the mornings, because I find it gets my day started on the right. It sets me up for success and all of that sort of stuff. And
I was just saying, and don't get me wrong, Mark, I completely understand when people turn around and go, mate, I've got a young family, right? I've got a wife, I've got 3 kids, and I completely get it. On the other hand, I've got some really great close mates who love the health and fitness, will always prioritise their fitness. And the way they do it's at the end of the day. So their thing is, they're up at 5:30, 6 o'clock with the kids in the morning. So their thing is, come 7:30, they'll then go to the gym at 8 o'clock. A lot of them, some of them are cabinet makers, so they're on site early, as I just mentioned, but they're going to gym, and their time's between 8 and 9 p.m. They're coming home, they're showering, they're going to bed at 10:30, and they're waking up at 6, so they're still getting a good amount of hours sleep as well. So, but once again, it's them putting in that effort and then prioritising that time between 7:30 and 8:30, making that them time to work out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other thing too is that, it's something that can help motivate people to have that discipline to work in that routine, is to think about the energy levels that they have today, and then think about the energy levels they particularly will embody, sort of 2, 3, 4 weeks down the track, and just measure that. So, you think about, when you get home after a hard day's work, and no doubt that being a contractor is incredibly laborious, and there's a lot of stuff going on. If you do a workout in the afternoon before you actually hit home at sort of 4 p.m, 5 p.m, depending upon how you're running your day and your business, imagine how much energy you're going to have when you get home for your kids. You've just done a workout, you've got a bit of a buzz and a high happening as well. You've fed your body and your mind, and then all of a sudden, your quality time with your kids and your family elevates as well, because you're a lot more active and on that spot. So there's a whole bunch of things that obviously people can tap into, but certainly there are some big pillars that can help.
Absolutely. I guess when you talked about before about at the start of everything like that, so everything's going to be tough at the start, no matter what you do, right? Now, if waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning and going out and waking up and going to the gym, or if that's in the evening, then everyone's going to have this motivation that's going to come and go, right? Motivation is literally might be there for the first week. It might be there for the 4th week, but it's not going to be there every single day. It's that discipline that's going to make you go. So the way I see it, I just love this one. Discipline creates habit. Habit equals success. And once you put that into your mind and you just keep showing up every single day, you discipline every day, it becomes a habit. Now, that habit equals success in the way you're getting results. Once you get results, Mark, as you know from yourself from working out, your mind goes into a new level, mate. You're in that zone, So that's how people are going to see it early on. But the first week, Jesus, I'm loving it. But come the second week, I'm going to go back to my old habits. Well, no, be disciplined, rock up, do the work, and watch the results come.
Yeah, make the change. Mate, look, while I understand that you're not a nutritionist, and just putting that out there so that we're all very clear about that, and I know this advice sort of is in general in nature and based on experience as well, right? So what are some tips that you have on maintaining a balanced diet, that's going to support physical health and the demanding nature of being a tradie or contractor out there?
Yeah, it's funny, right, Mark, because I love this one. And the amount of conversations I've had with people who, PTs, nutritionists, and as you mentioned, thank you for just confirming that, Mark. I'm not a PT, I'm not a nutritionist, but I've been lucky enough to surround myself with a lot of qualified people. And this is the beauty about this, because at the end of the day, in all due respect to a lot of these people, everyone's a salesman. Everyone's in sales, and they're all there to sell what they truly believe in. So I've got some amazing friends who are qualified nutritionists. Now, these guys, their dietary or what they might believe in might be a vegan, okay? Others might be a carnivore. Others might be vegetarian, pescatarian. You've got all these different diets, and you see online especially of people saying, you must eat this, you must eat that. And over the years, I have been one of those people that have kind of gone, oh, Jesus, look at this carnivore. Oh, that's me. That's me. They're telling me it's got all these, vitamins. I'm going to get the best feeling. So I fell for that trap, absolutely. And I tried it, right? And I guess what I'm going to say is there's really three things in a way of if you're wanting to look to make a change to your diet and what you should have. Look at one that's going to give you one is your energy. What's really going to give you that energy throughout the day? What's going to give you the best physical results? And what's then going to give you the best sleep? This is how I've always seen. Like I said, Mark, I've tried many different things, but those three things, so it's energy levels, physical results, and the best sleep. Because there's no point doing a carnivore diet, for instance, and you're going to get super lean, you're going to get jacked, you're going to look great. But then, come 1 o'clock in the arvo, you die in the arse, you've got no energy the rest of the day, and you're only getting 4 hours sleep, right? There's no that. So if your body reacts and makes you feel the best, if it's a high carb, high fat diet, high carb, high protein diet, or high fat, whatever it is, that's what you use. Because that's the thing about the life, as we know, no body is the same. Everyone's going to be different. Sure, reach out to people. And try different things, but really that's how I see it, Mark. But what's going to give you those three best things? And that's how I see it.
And I think a lot of people, mate, thank you. And I think a lot of people really underestimate the sleep factor. That is sort of like fundamentally one of the most big, I find for myself, one of the biggest pillars that you need to monitor and have a really regimented sleep routine to be able to get the best out of the following day. I remember when I was younger and, I was in my 19, 20, and I was getting 4 or 5 hours sleep a day. And at that age, you could probably afford to do that. But as you particularly age, getting more sleep is paramount. However, if you're a regular visitor of a gym, i.e. Strong, for example, you really need to get sort of a good 7-8 hours sleep, I find, to then be able to function effectively the following day. So food, obviously, as you said, nutrition, where do you start? There's so much. I'm a big believer of trying to minimize processed foods. But that's just me. Again, I'm not a nutritionist. I have my own nutritionist that looks after me, and she builds an amazing eating plans based around who I am as a person. So I highly advise if you're listening to the program, definitely engage with a nutritionist simultaneously while you consider your fitness journey, because you don't need to go and see them every week, but certainly they'll set you up with a good eating plan that's bespoke for who you are.
Absolutely, it's a great starting point, Mark, and then from there you can definitely see on how your body reacts to certain foods. But also what kind of macros works for you, right? So 100%. Yeah,
nice. Mate, we obviously this is a subject that's pretty close to my heart because I've obviously experienced some mental health issues and previously over my lifetime. Lucky or unlucky that's occurred. However, learned so much from those times when I was probably in my deepest, darkest spots. And I'm a big advocate for having these sort of conversations because I think it normalises the ability for men particularly to have those conversations and not feel ashamed about, mental health, because it's not anything to be ashamed about. It's something that occurs to a lot of people. And so look, I know we talk about, and one of the reasons I got into physical training a long time ago, was one of my triggers, was the mental health experience that I was going through at the time. And speaking with my psychologist and stuff, they said, hey, look, have you considered getting into, physical fitness a lot more than what you have? So, having a really strong, powerful routine that distracted you and lifted you up from those times. So I know that it sort of, from my experience, it helps maintain physical fitness, and that contributes to sort of overall health and stress management. And I found that that's obviously worked for me. You guys at Strong, I think we mentioned it when we were talking off air about the use of saunas and cold plunges. Do those sorts of things assist in this area? And if they do, how do they work?
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. And thank you for bringing this up. And just on that too, mate, when you're talking about working out and going to the gym, yes, it is great for your mental well-being, because I tell you what, regardless if it's a Pilates workout, a strong workout, or someone going to the gym, or just going for the walk, you never finish a workout angry or upset. Most of the time you've gotten something out of it. So just, even if it's just a walk or something like that, on how great that is for your mental well-being, mate, you've nailed it on the head. Absolutely. So yeah. And thank you very much for bringing up the recovery side of things, mate. It's for myself, Dan and Danny, recovery in a way of using saunas and cold plunging is something that is very close to our chest. It's something we're doing quite actively prior to purchasing Strong and prior to building this. So we are very fortunate enough here at Strong. We have a great recovery centre out the back. We've got 2 infrared saunas. We've got a big open traditional sauna as well as cold plunge. Now, studies show the use of frequent saunas and the way of cold plunging improve your overall dopamine levels, especially like the traditional saunas, Mark. Not only is it great for your mental well-being, but the facts about traditional sauna in studies show, let's say out in Finland, that actually lowers the risk of death from cardiovascular disease, so such as Alzheimer's, stroke, heart attacks, etc. So there's all these other benefits that just well beyond your mental well-being and just how good it is for you long-term, right? Infrared saunas, great for detoxification levels, sleep, anything here. So once you're improving your detoxification, your sleep, once again, that's improving your mental well-being. Now, the beauty thing about a cold plunge, it's a hate-love relationship. Like, no one enjoys, so I've never met anyone that says I love going into a 9 degree, like ours, we're set at 9 degrees, and
that's
I've
cold.
never met anyone that just look. It's cold. I know people that want to go down then less. We go by studies by the AIS and a few other people that show you really need to be around that 9 degrees temperature. At 9 degrees, like I was saying, I've never had anyone that said they love it in there for 3 minutes. It's becomes more resilient kind of thing. It becomes a bit of banter. You've got people in there, but increase of dopamine levels. Studies show it goes through the roof. Through the absolute roof of after the effects of a cold plunge. So it's a beautiful thing, this recovery. All these new studies are going out. I guess recovery, what I've seen, has been big for the last probably 3 to 4 years, but more especially the last 6 to 18 months has just boomed. And what we're finding, mate, a lot of people are wanting to know more about it. And once they do it, once they come to a contrast therapy here, hot and cold, or just even going into the cold plunge for 2 or 3 minutes, they're on edge. They're flying. They're up and about for the rest of the day, So from an overall perspective on your mental well-being, recovery should definitely be made at a priority for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, mate, that's really awesome. I know I've had some first-hand experience with a place at Red Hill here in Queensland, and I attempt to go at least once a month and spend about 90 minutes. And I think the coldest that I've been in, because they have a couple of magnesium pools. One's a hot magnesium pool, one's a cold.
Nice.
And even though the cold is set at 14 degrees Celsius, I'm pretty certain that at the peak of the morning, it's not 14. It's actually much lower because it's obviously in that colder environment. So I reckon it's probably sitting closer to that sort of 9-10 mark. And look, I'm telling you, mate, 3 minutes is my max in that. I know there's the cold plunges, which are 0 to 5, which is another section that they have there. But my experience getting out after being in those pools is, like you said, the health benefits are unquantifiable, you know, but also how you feel for that day and for that and for the following days is really, really amazing. It's really amazing. So
absolutely, like what we find here, it's a lot of the people in the morning, but also the evening people. But what we have a 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. class here, and it's just great to see. We have 20 people in a class, and let's say there's about half a dozen of them will all just go do a 15, 20-minute sauna session or a cold plunge, and then they'll go on their day and they'll go to work. And because once again, they're getting a great workout, but then they're really prioritising their recovery. So not only obviously is that going to fasten recovery for their legs, so they'll be able to show up the next day and still perform. They're getting great dopamine increase levels, and they're ready to attack the day.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
awesome, brother. Mate, couple of I should say a few more questions. Just to really deep dive in on this topic while I've got you. The obviously, with a number of contractors, there's probably going to be who are going to be new to fitness training, haven't done it before. And I know we've touched on this a little bit before. And you know, in some respects, they're probably going to feel a little bit intimidated about the transition. Have you got any golden gems or advice that you could offer to help them, you know, just get over that hump and take a leap of faith?
Absolutely, mate. Like this one, Mark, I can't emphasize enough on how much this is close to my chest. You know, knowing, because as I said at the start of the podcast, mate, my fitness journey started when I was early 20s, and I was obese, mate. I'll be honest, 108 kilos. It's quite heavy, and I'll never ever forget my anxiety levels walking into that gym. I'll never forget on how I felt and what people were saying. It's something that, like I said, I'll always remember. So. To the people that are listening, the best thing I did was surround myself with the right people. And, you know, and at the time, there was a couple of close mates. It was actually my brother. My brother was heavily involved in fitness. So he's the one that really pushed me to get to the gym, to get me going there. And sorry, mate, I thought I was going to be emotional then.
You're allowed to.
So it's surrounding yourself with the right people, Mark. And the thing about that, is if you hang around, 9 alcoholics, you're going to be the 10th, right? And if you're not wanting to make a change, if you're going to tell them that, boys, I'm not going to go to the pub this arvo, I'm going to go to the gym, they're going to be the ones that are going to rip into you because you're making the change. And a lot of people don't like change because they're comfortable. And the best thing is, mate, is going out your own comfort zone and doing something like that, because once again, your whole world opens and you can do so many more things once you change your mindset and you start doing that. So hanging around, surrounding yourself with the right people, I can't emphasize enough on how important that is. But then also knowing that, you know what, your anxiety levels will be high, but you've just got to keep reminding and telling yourself of the long term. And the way I see it is about chasing your clone. Dan told me about this, my business partner, Dan. He said to me one day, always chase your clone. And I said, what do you mean about chasing your clone, brother? What are you on about? He goes, you think about anything you do in life, that decision you make, what's your clone done? So right now, you're a new bloke. You're thinking about going to the gym. What's your clone's on? Your clone's already at the gym. Your clone has already done your workout. He's ready to go to bed. So once again, chase something and just remember the after result that you're going to get, regardless on how you might feel at the time, because it's the after feeling you want to be chasing. So, I'll just say, but surround yourself with people, the right people, and just remember on ultimately the long-term goal out of it. You know, just trying to stay away from the small things sometimes. You really look at the long-term effect that you're going to get by going out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, awesome advice. And, thanks for sharing. I tell you, there hasn't ever been a truer statement about surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And if you want to achieve anything in life, the people that you are, well, they say, the statistically speaking, and it comes from a lot of self-help gurus, that, you know, the 5 people that you surround yourself with in life throughout your journey are usually you become the average version of the 5 people that you hang around the most, right?
For sure.
So, finding a buddy or finding a friend or someone that wants to do that journey with you is also definitely another opportunity. But also remember, one of the things that I'm very devoted about is that some of the most dangerous people in my sphere of who I hang around with are the most silent. And I say that because they're the ones that are they're not out there having beers on a Friday afternoon and then planning their weekends to be around, drinking and all that sort of stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. Each to their own. Mm-hmm. However, if you want to make, long-lasting, impactful change, you've got to sacrifice some of those things. And, getting into health and fitness and well-being and the nutrition and all of these different, levers that you can pull can drastically change your life for the better. And it's how you use all of those, all of that information and that time to actually to get the best results.
No, exactly right. And it goes back to what we were saying earlier, Mark. It's about the discipline, mate. It's about giving up a lot of things and sacrificing, the word you just mentioned then, because the results aren't going to come. If it's only once a week thing or something you're only going to do not on an often basis, well, those results aren't going to come. So it really comes down to how much you want these changes and just making sure you surround yourself with the right people. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Mate, before we get to closing off today, just a couple of things that I wanted to ask. Do you have any sort of success stories or examples of contractors that have made a change or has significantly improved their work performance and quality through sort of fitness and strength training? Is there anybody that you can mention at the moment?
Mate, throughout my life, I've had a lot of mates, obviously, that are in the construction industry that have made great physical changes. But one of us recent is actually a member of ours. And I'm sure he actually won't mind me mentioning him. It's Andy Lewis, Too Easy Tiling. You know Andy Lewis, wouldn't you? Mark,
Andy.
Too Easy.
Love
Andy.
Too Easy. It is just too easy.
Social media guru, mate. I'll tell you what, hasn't his followers account got up, You wouldn't believe that.
Mate.
He's gold, mate. He's absolutely gold. He's always got a story. Every time he walks in here, our team and them absolutely love him. He's such a unique character. And
mate, talk about
this. So
talk about a guy that can just rattle off a story like no other person you've ever met before. Like he articulates that so eloquently, and I just I wish I had his skill.
100%. But so the beautiful thing about Andrew, mate, not only is he just an amazing human being, he's had some great physical results in starting his journey here at Strong for 12 weeks. Now, that's fantastic. But the best thing about Andy, it's his mental well-being and how that's helped him and how that's changed his life. And the messages that myself and my team and my business partners have received off Andy is something that makes us, this is the reason why we opened this, right, to have these kind of results. Andy went through something at the start of the year that no male or human should actually have to go through. And that really got him down, and he was in a really bad way. And as soon as we said, he found out that there was a Strong Pilates and Recovery Frankston opening up, he reached out, he sent me a message, and he said, mate, I need something. I need to make a change. I'm not in a good way. And so, mate, I wanted the fit out to be done like that, right, once he told me what he's been through. And so 12 weeks later, mate, not only have we seen phenomenal physical results from Andy, the overall, happiness and the way he sees life and how he is on a day-to-day perspective than what he was over 12 weeks ago is something that I'll never forget. And that comes down from Andy being, prioritizing. He's never walked into a gym before. Before we opened, he's never, ever been to a gym before, and he's told me that 100 times. And to see him coming now, 12 weeks later, on how much better his form is on the Reformer, how he's building strength, he's lost body fat, he's now going into a cold plunge for, a minute instead of 10 seconds, all these other things.
Oh, good on him.
Improved over the 12 weeks. It's great to see, and that's what it's all about, mate. So hats off to Andy and what he's been able to accomplish because, no one should, like I mentioned, no one should go through what he had to do, what he has been through. But it's great to see a smile on his face and to see, the regular happiness going through his body.
Yeah, mate. Awesome share, and good on you, Andy. That's brilliant. I can't wait to get back to Melbourne. I'm there in a few weeks in December, and I'm definitely going to make time to catch up with you guys during that time. Awesome. So it'd be good to see how he's adapted, and undoubtedly, as you said, I'm sure he's killing it. So.
Yeah, mate, jump on the reformer bed with him and see how you go. Be good.
Yeah. 20-second cold plunge. Why not?
Love it, mate.
Mate, I'd be remiss to, if I didn't ask before we wrap up today, if there's any sort of introductory offers, knowing that you guys have only been open for a short period of time. Yeah. And look, this is, an opportunity just to give our community a bit of an intro. So what, if any, introductory offers do you have that you can sort of mention that we can share with the community? And of course, I'll make sure that we put all that in the show notes and stuff, and so people have access to it as well.
Yeah, no, thanks, Mark. It's very kind of you, mate. It's really the best one we do offer. It's a strong overall experience. The overall experience is a 10-day trial. Now, that consists of unlimited Pilates classes, 7 days a week. We are open 7 days a week too. So unlimited Pilates classes, and that's also unlimited recovery sessions as well. So that's the usage of infrared saunas, the compression boots, traditional saunas, and cold plunge. So for unlimited access in those 10 days, it's only $79, mate. So for bang for your buck, $79, unlimited 10-day experience for the Pilates and recovery. That's definitely the best introductory offer for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, super nice, mate. That's very cool. I'm happy to, as I said, we'll share that with the wider community and make sure they can and reach out to Strong at Frankston and make the inquiry. That's all. I imagine that's done online predominantly.
Absolutely, mate. They've just got to download the app, put all their details, create an account, and they'll see the Strong Experience Pilates and Recovery 10-day trial. Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
Thanks,
I like it. Well, mate, look, that sort of wraps it up for today. I don't have any other questions that sort of come to mind. But, mate, I really appreciate you coming on today and sharing your experience with us. And, mate, I'm super proud of what you've done with Strong. I think it's a fantastic business, and I say that from the heart as well, because I'm obviously very close to that personal journey of health and well-being and physical fitness and looking after yourself and nutrition. And so, mate, good on you. I think you guys are going to kill it, and I have no doubt that we might see some other Strongs popping up somewhere, maybe. Just putting that out there into the universe for you. So. But mate, yeah, thanks again. And mate, if any of the community want to connect in with you directly, what's the best way for them to reach out to you, mate, and get a hold of you?
Mate, we've got two options via Instagram, so Strong Frankston Instagram handle, or just jump on the website, mate, Strong Pilates Recovery Frankston, and our contact details are all on there. Myself or one of our amazing team members will definitely, be in touch.
Awesome, mate. No, I'll get all of that on there. And, mate, once again, thanks again, James Harrington from Strong Frankston, for being on the show. And thank you for sharing your journey, mate. Can't wait to catch up in person.
Thank you very much for having me again, Mark. It's a pleasure as always. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Tiling Connect. Don't forget to rate and review this podcast. To see more of Tiling Connect, jump on our socials and follow us via LinkedIn, Instagram and Facebook. If you'd like to be part of the show, email us at tilingconnect@gmail.com. Until next time, stay connected.